shut up and kick. Isn't this what we usually say to athletes that try to come and speak out on political issues? Well, many are up in arms with Harrison Buckner. He's the star kicker for the Kansas City Chiefs. And they're mad because he's not only about his views, but the mere fact that he's bold enough to express his political views in front of the world. Now, a politician publicly warns the Kansas City Chiefs to handle the small cut before it gets infected and eventually needs stitches. Wait until you hear how it's going down.
Don't nobody go in the bathroom for about 45 minutes.
You done fucked up, you know that, don't you?
You got knocked the fuck out. What's happening?
Justice Horn, the former commissioner of the city's LGBTQ community, alleges that the people are all in agreement with challenging Harrison Buckner's views. However, Justin Horn appears to be wishful thinking, attempting to convince everyone to be anti-Harrison because everyone is not. You'll be surprised, but some people are actually supporting Harrison Buckner's views. Now, here's my question. Just because Harrison Buckner's opinions are not supported by the mainstream society, does that mean he should be disallowed to say them? No. If you say yes, then doesn't that violate his First Amendment rights? Freedom of speech, freedom of expression. Just a question, something to ponder on. But I got much more for you. Now, initially, Justice Horn did not ask for Harrison Buckner to be suspended, but he was in agreement with the NFL taking a firm stance against Harrison Buckner's statements. Now, here's what all of the fuss is about. Harrison Buckner calls Pride Month a deadly sin. And he didn't just say it, but he said it during his commencement speech at Benedict College. But he's also said many other questionable things during his commencement speeches. But wow, I'm not going to front. This is a very strong statement. Very, very strong. And I'm certain that it rubbed many people the wrong way. But in my opinion, Harrison appears to be led by his inner convictions and is not afraid to share his views, right? So if some people are discrediting him and bashing him, other people are celebrating him and commending him, right? In fact, his spiritual convictions appear to convict him to the degree he feels it's his responsibility to say something. It's not just his belief. So he's of the cloth, in my view, Harrison Buckner, that he's so convicted by what he feels on the inside and what he believes that he don't think it's enough just to sit on it. He has to express it. Yes. I respect that. I'm not saying I agree with what he says, but I respect his reasoning for why he said it. Now, the NFL came out quickly and made it very clear that Harrison Buckner is speaking of his own capacity and that he's not representing the Kansas City Chiefs in any way, shape, or form. They had to make it clear, listen, we are not riding with this guy. He's riding all alone. In other words, this is what the NFL is really trying to say. Harrison Buckner, you better cut out that nonsense before you eventually jeopardize our soaring NFL television ratings and cause us to lose money. Let's not get it twisted. That's what all of this is about. That's the bottom line. Now, SportsCenter shared a post on social media regarding Harrison's remarks, and it said, it takes all of us, and also end racism. And they made it clear that these were posted in the end zone. They were written in the end zones, separate end zones at Arrowhead Stadium, which is Kansas City Chiefs' home stadium. Now, in my view, here's another attempt to show the world that you're standing in opposition of Harrison's comments. You got the NFL coming out, you got SportsCenter, and all these different things. And many may ask, why don't they just cut them and cut their losses? Because here's the thing. Harrison Buckner is very, very good. I believe he's an all-pro kicker, and great kickers are hard to find, especially championship kicking kickers. So that's why This is not as easy as many people may assume. Now, Whoopi Goldberg, you all know Whoopi Goldberg, The Color Purple, The View. She's been always outspoken in her career. Well, she has the right. She said she came out in support of Harrison Buckner, and she expressed that he has the right to speak his truth in this country. But she really ruffled everyone's feathers when she compared Harrison Buckner's situation to Colin Kaepernick's protest. Ooh, it's getting hot in here, right? The thing, according to Justice Horn, former commissioner for the LGBTQ community, he says that's like comparing apples to oranges, meaning that it's different. But I like to take his comparison and disagree and say that it's similar. Comparing apples to oranges, yes, they're similar because they're both fruit. Yes, they look different, but both are healthy for you, for your health and for your growth and development. So yeah, it is like comparing apples to oranges, which are very similar. They just look different. So I definitely support Whoopi Goldberg's claim that there's definitely a correlation between Harrison Buckner's situation, his statements that he's saying in these commencement speeches, and also Colin Kaepernick's stance that he took when kneeling during the Pledge of Allegiance. Harrison Buckner appears to me to just be a strong, committed man that's truly convicted by his inner convictions, because he's truly not backing down. This man believes, he stands firmly behind what he believes. He's not afraid to express it, and he's not afraid to stand firm behind whatever comes next. Now, as a result, the opposition is also being resilient, creating a petition to have Buckner removed from the Kansas City Chiefs football team. So again, in the opposition, they're coming out strong. They're not holding. They're not going to stop until they see something happen. And preferably, they want to see him removed out of the NFL. In other words, they want to remove his platform so he can't continue to speak on what he's speaking about. Now, however, the opposing petition was not with a petition of support, right? So critics of Harrison Buckner says the opposing petition has over 150,000 signatures, but the support petition doesn't have as many signatures and is scattered. So in other words, the opposition to Harrison Buckner came out with a petition and got over 150,000 signatures. But little did they know that the supporters of Harrison Buckner was doing the same thing. And they have thousands of signatures as well. Now, the opposition, they're saying that their petition has 150,000 signatures, many more than the support's petition. And they also say that the supporters' petition is very scattered. Nonetheless, that's just what they're claiming. But the supporters that's coming out with the petition, they take it even a step further with some of the headings of their petitions. Now, the petition of opposition accuses Harrison of using his platform to spread harm instead of unity and pushing harmful stereotypes that threaten progress. But there's another movement, like I mentioned, that disagree with this opposition claim. And we're going to tell you some of these names and some of the things that the support for Harrison Buckner is doing, and it's going to blow your mind. Now, many of the people that are opposing, that are against Harrison Buckner's statements, are not just mad at the statements that he made. They're now also angry because of other people that's not following suit and going with them in opposition. They're mad because other people are actually supporting Harrison Buckner. In fact, many people are supporting him. The supporters of Harrison Buckner believe he should not only be commended for being bold enough to say what many others feel, but he should also be promoted. And listen at some of these headings of some of the petitions that's out. Harrison Buckner for Chiefs team captain. They're saying he should be made the team captain of the Kansas City Chiefs, the Super Bowl winning back-to-back Kansas City Chiefs, right? Another name. Give Harrison a raise. They want him to get more money for coming out and speaking his truth. And other supporters of Harrison Buckner says, support Harrison Buckner for standing up for traditional family values and roles. So you got a bunch of the conservatives coming in support of Harrison Buckner. Do you support what he said, or are you in opposition of what he said? Or are you in opposition of the way he went about saying it? Now, there's definitely an ongoing debate raging as to Harrison's content in his speeches, touching on some controversial issues, and the LGBTQ community was not the only controversial issue. Harrison Buckner has touched on abortion, and that's a huge issue in today's society as they're trying to totally ban abortion in all of the states. LGBTQ community he touched on, and we are well aware of that we're discussing, but he also touched on the women's true purpose in life. So like I said, I truly think that Harrison Buckner is a very spiritually connected man. He's aligned with his truth, and he's aligned, he's in tune with who he is and how he feels, and he has strong inner convictions that he's in line with, and he's not afraid to express them, and I respect that. Fans continue to disagree on whether Harrison should keep his job or be cut from the Kansas City Chiefs, but they clearly understand this will be the Kansas City Chiefs' sole decision to make, and it's totally not an easy decision because, as I mentioned earlier, Harrison Buckner is a Super Bowl winning kicker. It's hard to find kickers with ice in their veins, meaning that can make kicks from anywhere, and he's one of them, and he's very consistent. So the Kansas City Chiefs, here's the dilemma that they're dealing with. They can go and please the public and all of these oppositional people that's coming out against Harrison Buckner. The Kansas City Chiefs can come out and please them and go ahead and cut, Harrison Buckner. Well, clean their hands, wash their hands of it, out of sight, out of mind. However, if the Kansas City Chiefs actually go and cut Harrison Buckner, within hours, he will be signed on another team, probably making more money than he was making with Kansas City Chiefs because he's a hot commodity. His talent is very difficult to identify, let alone secure on your team. So even if they cut him, he's going to get picked up with the quickness. So then you have to ask yourself, if we cut him, are we hurting Harrison Buckner or are we hurting ourselves? That's what the Kansas City Chiefs have to ponder. But again, there's something to be said about what Harrison Buckner is doing. I'm not sure he's going about it the right way, but listen, to all of you out there that have strong convictions on the inside and are totally aligned with them and are bold enough to express them, I'm encouraging you to listen, go ahead and live your truth. Go ahead and align your words, thoughts, and actions up with your truth. But always be aware and be mindful that just because it's your truth, it's not everybody's truth. And everybody's not going to be in agreement nor support your truth and your claim. So you also have to be ready to receive strong opposition, right? It's all about polarity. You can't have North Pole without having South Pole. You can't have good without having bad. Right? You can't have opposition without having support. But again, be prepared, right? Because if you stay ready, you never have to get ready, right? And make sure you feel good. Because when we feel good, everybody wins. When you're your best self, when you feel good and you're your best self, everybody wins. But when you don't feel good and you're not your best self, everybody loses, including you. It's only 2 times that you don't feel good. When you're thinking about something that you don't want, or when you're doubting that you're going to get something that you do want. You control your mind. You control your life. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. I'm going to keep it coming. You be great. And more importantly, be blessed.